Today it's gonna be kind of it's gonna be a different video. I'm not really gonna do anything, but I wanted to make this video because when I installed the Holley high ram intake, I had a couple of issues that I ran into, and then I had trouble finding solutions, and then I had trouble finding research of how people had it, and then I didn't find any video of like the way people had it, or an install. I kind of want to make this video to try to help anybody, and I actually have one friend from San Antonio who wants to get the same one, and he wants to know like what to expect and the things to buy to be able to install it, because it is not a direct swap, I would say that. So there's a few things you gotta buy to make it fit depending what setup you have. This is kind of like the truck setup, because I know the truck setup has the alternator on top. I know if you have like a Corvette or something else, it'll have the alternator on a different spot. So I guess this depends on whatever setup you got. First thing I want to say is I think the Holley high ram does come with studs. Those are kind of a pain in the butt to put in, especially the very back ones. That's one of the things that you should look into, or you're gonna struggle a little bit, but it's doable. You just gotta take your time. And then the fuel injectors, it does have two spots where you can connect them to. So if you have the shorter ones, it does have the thing where you can put the screw on for the fuel rail, so you're able to run short and tall injectors on the Holley high ram. So if you're wondering if you can run the 80 pounders like I am, which are taller injectors than the stock ones, yes you can. And the stock injectors are shorter ones, which I'm pretty sure you can run them. The Holley high ram intake is going to come with a crossover, as you can see right here, which is going to come from this fuel rail to the other fuel rail. The issue that I ran into was here. I don't know if you guys can see very much, but it came with the other 90-degree fitting that hit the back of the alternator. So I had to buy this fitting here that it's more of a sharp 90, so that way it kind of clears it. I probably have like an inch gap behind the alternator. That's one of the solutions. Whatever intake you got, it's gonna change it a little bit. So like me, since I'm running my charge pipe, with the other intake, the other intake's throttle body's face like straight. With the Holley high ram, it faces it down at an angle. So you do gotta look into relocating whatever intake you have, whether if it's just a cold air intake or a charge pipe for a turbo, whatever. It does face it down a little bit, so I did have to like cut it a little bit, but it wasn't a big deal. One of the other things is on the stock intake manifold on the truck ones, the map sensor is located like somewhere right here, and then this thick wire thingy runs across right here, or like it goes like this somewhere. So like the only thing I did was just run it along the back, and then the map sensor relocates to the back of the Holley high ram. So when you run your wires through the back, the connector is able to reach still to the map sensor. So that's one of the questions I had, because a lot of people didn't know like where you put your map sensor, because obviously you can't really see it. It's like nowhere, but it's on the very back, and the connection's still able to reach. I didn't have any problems. And then the other thing is the vacuum line, or the vacuum hose, whatever you want to call it. It still connects the same way that it connects to your stock intake. It just has a kind of like one of these fittings right here. It just has one of those on the back, and then you just connect it pretty much like right here. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. And then one of the other things I had trouble with was the fuel line. So you're not gonna be able to just connect your fuel line, your stock fuel line, to the fuel rail directly, because the fuel rail is more back on this one than the stock one. You can see my connection right there. That's my original stock fuel line, and then I got it connected to this adapter right here, and then I got a 90 with the hose here, and then it goes loop back, and then it connects to the back of the fuel rail. Let me get a flashlight, see if I can show you guys better. So there, you guys can see a lot better. There's my stock fuel line right there. Then I got that adapter right there, got a 90, then it loops back, and then you can see where it connects to the back of the fuel rail back there. Right there. At the back of this one, you could either just you can block it off, but what I did, I connected that end of the fuel rail to my fuel regulator. But if you're not running the fuel regulator, then you can just block it, kind of like I have it right here. Oh yeah, one of the other things I had questions about was if you can still use your stock throttle body. I was able to still use it. I mean, I don't know if I wasn't supposed to. The only issue I did see was trying to get these leaves out of here. I don't know if you guys can see, but right here, it's literally pretty much touching the intake, the throttle body. It's touching the intake. You probably got you can probably barely stick like a piece of paper in there, but I mean, it fits. I think that there's no issues. The connections still reach. And then if you have a cable throttle body, here's the holes for the bracket for the cable. So yeah guys, those are the issues that I ran into. But yeah guys, if you guys have any questions about anything about the intake or how to install it or anything like that, just comment down below. I'll try to put all the part numbers under the description below. But if you guys have any questions that I didn't answer or anything like that, you can just go ahead and comment. But that's the way I did it, and it works. I've been driving it like this for a little while, and I didn't have any issues.